Welcome all. Myself Rajesh from Tally.ERP. Today we will cover several important aspects as you will see on the screen. These are essential requirements for any user of Tally, and these are the agenda. Today we will be covering these topics. We will be most often be required to provide customer support in these areas. And the agenda is voucher numbers, cancellation and deletion of vouchers, transition to new year, data backup, disaster management, export options, Lan Installation, TNS and live updates, health and other options, support from Tally. So these are the agenda today we will be covering in today's session. Let us start with voucher numbers, cancellation, deletion, and impact of numbering. Before we understand the functionality of voucher numbers, let us understand what is voucher type in Tally. By default in Tally.ERP 9, there are 80 different predefined voucher types. Where payroll feature is enabled, the number of predefined voucher types will be 20. Voucher type pertains to accounting, inventory, and payroll. These are used for recording various transactions according to the user needs. So let us see in the project from Gateway of Tally. I have created a company called Acme Private Limited, account control, voucher type, alter. So these are the 18 predefined voucher types which is inbuilt in Tally. Examples include cash payment vouchers and bank payment vouchers, where when the relevant predefined voucher is payment voucher, you may have two or more set of sales vouchers for different kinds of sales transactions. Examples, credit sales, cash sales, etc. In that case, you can create a new voucher with credit sales and a cash sales. Moving on to the voucher numbers, we have different voucher numbering methods. One is automatic and manual, multi-user auto, and none. These are the four voucher numbering methods which is in Tally. Automatic is nothing but if this method is very flexible. If automatic method is selected, then Tally.ERP 9 numbers the vouchers automatically. The advanced configuration we will look at next in detail. Next, manual voucher numbering method. This method allows you to number the vouchers manually. It does not check for the sequence of the numbers and permits you to specify anything that you wish in the voucher number field. However, you may choose to prevent entry of duplicate numbers if you would like to do so. Then an additional field will be displayed to prevent duplicates. We can just check in the product, go to sales voucher type. These are the method of voucher numbering. Automatic. I will explain you all in the next slide. Coming to manual. These are the manual methods. On enabling manual method of voucher numbering, we get an additional option for prevent duplicates. Prevent of duplicates is possible if you enable the option at the time of creation. You may enable it later by alteration only if there are no transactions of this type voucher type. If you feel difficulty due to existing transactions, just create another voucher type for preventing duplicates of subsequent voucher numbers. So next, moving on to the multi-user auto. Even we will just look into this detail. First, let us understand the meaning of multi-user auto. This method allows multi-users to pass vouchers simultaneously, thereby smoothing the process of recording transactions. When the voucher is saved, the next available voucher number is allotted to the vouchers thereby eliminating the step of reaccepting the voucher. The required details and other details will also be updated accordingly. Moving on to the none. This will disable the numbering of such vouchers. If you select this method, no further information is required for the entry. So now let us understand the details of creation mode of automatic with advanced configuration. So let me show you on the project. Let me select automatic. On enabling automatic, we get an option use advanced configuration. On enabling this option, you will get a subscreen. So I'll be explaining you each option in detail. Starting number. Give the number for the first voucher. Usually it is 1. You can set it to any number you want. Tally.ERP will auto increment from this number for subsequent vouchers. However, the numbering of vouchers also depends on other variables selected by you. So here we can select as 1 and width of numerical part. You may leave it blank to let Tally.ERP automatically adjust the width according to the number. However, if you would like to have a specific width to be fixed, then let's just say, for example, let us set the width of numerical part to 3. Later on, we will just check the voucher number in the entry level. Next, moving on to pre-fill with 0. When the width is specified, the digits before the voucher number are left blank. If this option is set to no. So on enabling this option, let us check the option number. It will pre-fill with 0 as per the width of numerical part. Moving on to restarting number. Voucher numbering may be restarted with the starting number as interval selected by you. Either it could be daily, monthly, never, weekly or yearly. You must give the date when the numbering should restart on the page applicable from. The date must be the first day of the month. You can specify more than one restart date. For example, if you wish to renumber your voucher from 1st June on a yearly basis, you must specify it in the next week. This would retain the numbering system in the prior period. If, however, you want to change the number from the beginning from monthly to yearly basis, simply go to the alteration of advanced configuration screen and enable it and restart the number, rename the numbering base. Moving on to the prefix details. If you want the voucher numbers to be prefixed with some fixed information, enter the information here. Examples of prefix details are month of the voucher. It could be company information like ABC company. You can mention the company name to be prefixed before the number, starting number, or even fixed series number like 10,000 or 1,000, any fixed series number. So in this example, let us take 1st April and let us keep month of the voucher. For example, April, APR. Moving on to suffix details. You can also give fixed suffix information for the voucher number. The same rules and effects as for the prefix details are applied. Similar to the prefix details. Say if we want to give a suffix, 1st April, I want to give a fixed series number. Say, okay, or say year 2014. I want the suffix detail to be filled with the year. So now let us check in the sales transaction how the voucher number appears for the dates starting from 1st April. F8 for sales. So the voucher number is APR 001 2014. So here, as per our configuration, APR is a prefix detail. 2014 is a suffix detail, and in between the voucher number is 1 and width of numerical part is 3, hence we have enabled the prefix sub details. Prefilled with 0, so it is getting prefilled with 0 for the width of 3. So this is the voucher numbering in the advanced configuration part. Next, moving on to multi-user auto. The multi-user auto voucher numbering features in Tally.ERP 9 works effectively in the multi-user environment where multiple users are working on the company data and recording vouchers. When multiple users are attempting to pass the same voucher simultaneously, the process may be hindered due to the voucher number allocation. When a specific voucher number is used by one of the users, the other user will have to re-accept the voucher so that the next available voucher number is allocated to this voucher. This is time-consuming and will affect the smooth functioning of the business. The multi-user auto voucher numbering feature in Tally.ERP 9 enables the user to work efficiently without any hindrance. The feature ensures that the vouchers are numbered sequentially. The device details does not have to be re-entered manually as it will get updated with the new voucher number and on an acceptance of the voucher entry. When the multi-user voucher numbering feature is enabled in Tally.ERP 9, let us see and go on next. Count info, voucher type, voucher, sales, multi-user auto, same configuration as explained in automatic, so use advanced configuration for multi-user auto. So let us check. Let us consider there are 3 users, Mr. Mohan, Mr. Ram and Mr. Shah. All the 3 users are trying to record a sales voucher. The voucher on each of the systems is numbered as 25. Mr. Mohan saves the voucher first, and this voucher number will be saved as 25. But when Ram and Shah attempt to save the voucher, the error message voucher number 25 already used. New number will be XX appears. In order to eliminate this error message and avoid the re-acceptance of the voucher, Tally.ERP 9 provides the option of multi-user auto voucher numbering. So let us see how we can differentiate between the automatic and normal multi-user auto. So once we enable as multi-user auto to identify whether this voucher numbering is a multi-user or a automatic voucher numbering, we will get an option in the bracket as auto after the voucher number. As per the configuration which we have configured, we haven't changed the configuration, hence it is taking April 001-2014. Once we enable as multi-user auto, the bracket is shown as auto. So let us record one transaction. On accepting, you will get an information as voucher saved with voucher number April 001-2014. This is not an error. This is an information for understanding the user in the multi-user environment that this voucher is being saved as this voucher number. So simultaneously, as per the example which I was given, if the same 3 users are accepting at the same time, the first user number will be taken as 25. And the second user, when he exits it, the number goes as 26. So this is the information given for multi-user auto on accepting of the voucher. Now, as I have already told you, when you don't want the voucher numbering, when you select the voucher numbering as null, so the field will be left as blank. You can see here the voucher number field itself will be disabled on selecting the voucher numbering as null. So by this we are covering the first topic of today's session, that is voucher number. So moving on to the next slide, that is voucher cancellation. Assume that you are making a handwritten bill. You make a bill and realize that there is a mistake and you need to cancel it. What is done is that you will score out the bill and file it in your bill book as cancelled. How is this kind of operation to be done in Tally? All you have to do is go to that transaction and press Alt-X. The transaction is now cancelled. So let us check in the project display day book. As I have already recorded a transaction, I will simply press Alt-X to cancel. So it is very important to note that the voucher number continues to be used for the cancel voucher. On cancelling the entry, the voucher remains retained. Hence, we can use for the subsequent entries. Moving on to the next slide, that is voucher deletion. With computers and not paper, there is another option to handle mistakes. We can delete the transaction. When the transaction is deleted, the voucher numbering settings come into play. If the numbering is automatic or multi-user automatic, all vouchers after that voucher will get automatically renumbered. This kind of auto renumbering may be okay for some transactions, say journals and contracts, but might not be the way to go for sales, receipts and so on. Why? Well, your customer has a bill number 55. And because you have deleted an earlier bill in your system, this may become 54. Deletion must be very cautiously taken care and the impact of voucher numbers should be considered. When in doubt, always you can cancel the entry rather than deletion. Now let us check into the project. I am going to record an entry. Let's go to the 3D book. I find it that the voucher number 2 entry I have done some mistake. So instead of cancelling, and I select the entry and I just delete it. Already. What happens to the voucher number 3 which we have already recorded? So the voucher number 3 is getting overwritten by the voucher number which is being deleted. So as I have already explained you, this may be okay for some entries like journal and contra entries. But for sales and receipts, it is very difficult to retain that number. Hence, always when in doubt, you can cancel the entry to retain the voucher number rather than deleting the transaction. Moving on to transition to the new year, let us now move to the financial year concept, as well how to start a new year on 1st April of next year. We need to first appreciate an extremely powerful feature in Tally. Tally is designed to be periodless. What does this mean? Simply put, Tally does internally in its database force itself to understand anything like a year or a period. Look at the image on the screen. There is a data for 6 years from 2009 to 2015. The current year is taken based on the setting in the company details screen as 12 months from this date. You can set any starting date or set any period as current period. The illustration shows how by pressing the Alt F2 button in Gateway of Tally screen. Any period can be set as current period. So how do we start a new year in a system that does not recognize anything like a year? All we need to do is press Alt F2 period and set the period to the next year. In our case, this is 1st April 2015. Alt F2 1st April 2015. 31st March 2016. All you have to do is you can change this from Gateway of Tally. That is all that is needed to start the next financial year. There are no year-ending process, carry forward, and anything complex as such. So by this we are covering the voucher number method, voucher deletion, voucher cancellation, transition to new year, and let us move to data backup. The need for data backup and its facts and laws. Why the data backup has to be taken. The facts and laws. Hard disk will fail, lightning strikes, and due to fire. There is a very interesting Murphy's law which says if anything bad can happen, it will happen. So these are the needs and facts and laws why data backup is very necessary for every organization. Moving on to the next slide, let us understand how to take the backup in Tally. So under data backup, we have two methods of taking the backup. One is manual process, another is automatic backup. So let us understand how the data backup is taken manually from Tally.ERP. If you have used computers for long enough, you will have experienced all the statements on the screen. We have CDs and DVDs that could not be read, memory cards that suddenly go dead, computers that refuse to boot, and systems that have been crashed while lighting an electrical malfunction. It is very important that you have a very clear strategy for data backup in the eventuality of any of these happening. And let me assure you that as eventuality, this eventually happens. Tally has excellent inbuilt mechanisms for data backup, which we will look at it next. You can take the data backup to any one of the destinations. Either you can take to a local drive, LAN, removable media, or a cloud destination. The manual backup process is very simple. From company menu, you can simply press Alt F3, select backup. Let me show you all in the product. Backup, You need to specify the destination and say OK. Tally will compress the data and create a backup file called abk.900. This manual backup step is normally performed to send the backup to the auditor. Most users of Tally, however, do not appreciate the powerful uses this mechanism has in case the data is lost. Sometime later in this session, we will look at how to restore a backup. Let us next look at automatic backup. The destination part is important. Let us see how we can backup in several ways. First is of course on the same computer. This is not a good idea. When the disk drive fails, the backup is also gone. So this process is normally used only when you need to backup and send the data to the auditor. If the user is on a LAN environment, a good idea is to save the backup on another computer system. All that you need to do is to share a data folder on the other system. Again, this is not the best strategy for lightning fire may happen that both systems are dead. Moving on to the next, flash drives are so cheap and portable. Backup on a flash drive and carry the pen drive out of the office, keep it at home. This is recommended. If you have purchased cloud storage like Dropbox, have Tally create the backup file in that file location that you have configured for cloud backup, and a copy of data backup file will also be stored on the cloud. This is technically the best option. So let us move to the auto backup. Automatic backup requires some very basic steps to enable. First, we need to configure that company we want to auto backup. This setting is found in the company screen. So let us see in the project. From Gateway of Tally screen, need to press Alt F3, go to Alter, select the company which you want to take the auto backup. Auto backup details. Enable auto backup here and accept. So on enabling the company operation screen, after enabling the option Enable Auto Backup, Tally will immediately create the first backup file called abk.900. As you can see on the screen, this backup is a full backup of the data at this time. After this initial data backup, Tally will keep backing up automatically. It is highly advisable that you set up automatic backup for your client. As stated before, we will look at restoring data later today. Can you tell what is the potential problem with this automatic backup? The problem is that backup is on the same computer along with the data, and if the hard disk or system fails, it will be a disaster. Tally has an elegant solution to this problem. From Gateway of Tally, you need to press F12 configuration. F12 configuration. Go to data configuration. You will find the settings you can see on the screen in the product. Enable auto backup copy. On enabling this option, set the location of auto backup file. As we discussed in the manual backup process, you will be asked to enter the location of auto backup where you want to take the auto backup copy. These are the destinations where you can take a copy of your auto backup. Either the destination, it could be in the LAN environment, removable media, or in the cloud environment. Once again, we must emphasize that as a part of any implementation program, a the backup step is critical and must not be missed. So by this we have completed the backup process, data backup of manual, backup from Tally and automatic backup. Moving on to the disaster data restore. Let us see copying of data, moving of data, restore after experimentation, getting back to the restore point, recovering from complete data loss. Data is restored in several cases, and we will first review the many cases that arise. Before we look at the simple steps needed to manage these needs, one common need which we spoke about earlier is copying the data. As when you need to send a copy to your auditor or take a copy to your laptop. Another need is to move the data from one PC to another PC. This happens when you want to change the computer, say you are upgrading to a new PC. Sometimes you may want to play around with the data, deleting vouchers, making changes and so on, and do not want to use optional vouchers. After experimentation, you want to come back to the data. This is what is done in the training center to get the data backup into the demo version after students have worked on the data. Sometimes you want to go back to the last backup point because some mistakes were made in the operations, like the undo features which is available in Windows by pressing Ctrl Z. Of course, the computer with the data could have got fried or disk drive might have been dead, and you need to get Tally up and running again on a new disk or a computer. In some cases, say when moving the data or recovering from system crash, you may need to install Tally again, as well as reactivate the license on the new system. This step we will discuss at the end of today's session. Data restore is done in several ways, which we will describe next. You will use the appropriate process based on the need and the backup available. Moving on to the data restore. From the company menu, select the restore option. From the company information menu, select the restore option, set the destination path and set the source path. This could be the pen drive or a folder or a LAN or the same PC path. The list of companies whose data backup is available will be listed. Select the companies that you need to be restored. Tally will start the data restore option. If Tally finds that there is already a company with the same number as shown in the screenshot, you will be prompted to override. Select this with care. Why? Let us say that you already have another company with the same number. This is common with auditors whose clients probably have common company numbers like 10001 as shown in the screen. If you are okay with the override, say S. S, say no. Renumber the earlier company number and start the restore again. Now take a backup of Acme Traders as shown in the screen, try a restore, stop, rename the earlier folder and redo these steps for a full hands-on understanding. So this is the manual restore in Tally. Moving on to the next slide, that is, we will now look at the data restore from the auto backup system. There are two ways to access the auto backup. One is from the company menu or from Gateway of Tally screen. You can simply press Ctrl-Alt-K. Let us see in the product. From Gateway of Tally screen, press Ctrl-Alt-K. You will see a list of auto backups that Tally could automatically locate on the specified source. Select the company you want to restore For example, Acme company which we have created. Tally will then show you a list of available backups for this company. Select the appropriate backup and Tally will restore in a similar way we discussed in the previous slide. The other method to restore data from the auto backup is very similar. The only change is that this is done from the company menu restore option. By this we have covered the restore option of manual and automatic. There is another scenario in which we need to restore the data. As you can see, copying, moving and restoring the data are very simple to accomplish. Of course, there must be a backup for this to succeed, which is why the backup operations are so important. The only other step that may be needed is the reactivation process. When a Tally license is required on a system that is different from a currently licensed computer, we must do these steps. If we are moving the license to another computer, this could be either to the fact that the computer has been crashed or for other reasons. If Tally is operational on the first PC, then surrender the license. This is to be done from gateway of Tally screen, press F12, licensing and surrender license. Now install Tally in the next PC, restore the data, then reactivate the license. In case Tally cannot be accessed on the first PC due to a system issue, ignore the surrender step. Install restore data and reactivate it. Tally will operate on a trust basis, assuming that Tally on the first system is not in use. Later, if the license servers become aware that the same license is in use on more than one PC, all these will be deactivated. And you will have to call to the Tally customer care to get a resolution. So by this we have covered the data backup and restore options in Tally and different on which a different scenario has been shown in product. Moving on to the next slide, export options. Tally comes with extensive data export options, with each being useful for the intention on how you want to use the data. Let us look at these options for these different needs. Let us say you want to copy only the letters from one company to other company. Let us see in product, from gateway of Tally screen, display, list of accounts, Alt-E for export option. Select the format as XML. Here we need to note that the XML file name and the export path Tally will create an XML file. Open the XML file by right-clicking on the file and edit. Observe that Tally has exported a lot of information on each ledger. Let us export. Enable this option open exported folder, type of master ledgers and export yes. So here you can find the file master.xml. This XML file can now be imported into another Tally or used by some other software program. You will find the data import option in the gateway of Tally screen. We shall not do the import now, just know that data can be exported in computer readable form. Moving on to the next export option format, that is PDF. A common business need is to send the invoice, purchase order or other report by email. The commonly accepted form is PDF. Let us create a PDF of an invoice we made to a customer. Navigate it to the invoice. You need to simply press Alt-P, select the PDF format as shown in the product, Alt-E, PDF format, and you can select the PDF format and export. Note that a PDF reader or writer or any other software is not needed for Tally to be able to create a PDF. Moving on to the next slide, that is image. Sometimes, though this is not the usual way, they may need an image instead of a PDF. This format is usually required to upload to a website. Export the same invoice, this time as an image. Next format is HTML. Some users need to publish reports on their website, and the HTML export is a great way to directly obtain the Tally report format in the language of the web HTML. Export the balance sheet in HTML to see how this works. We have already covered export to Excel in the previous session under advanced reporting. The ASCII format is a format that has been specialized uses. Normally, for other programs to consume the exported data, we will not look at this format in today's session. So, we have covered voucher numbering and the different methods, data backup and restore under different scenarios, and also we have come across all the export options, that is XML, PDF, image, and HTML. Moving on to the next slide, installations on Lan Installation. While we will not do this part hands-on today, we will just revise how to install Tally Gold, the multi-user version of Tally on a LAN environment. First, how does Tally work from the license perspective? When Tally starts, it checks if it is licensed. Let us look at how this is managed. In case of Tally Silver, Tally looks for a license type, and if the right one is found, it starts in the license mode. In case of Tally Gold, Tally asks for an OK message from a license server software that is running on one of the computers on the LAN. Look for both these configurations now. So let us go to that option in the from Tally product. Go to F12. Licensing. Configure existing license. Read the instructions which you can see here. How about the share data? From Gateway of Tally, F12 configure, go to data configuration. The first part is the location of data files. In the case of Tally Gold, this will be a common shared path on a LAN environment. You will need to install and configure a multi-user installation hands-on to fully understand the extremely simple steps that are needed. Doing this hands-on here is beyond the scope of this session. We have understood the single user activation and the multi-user activation and how to share the data and configure the data and the path in Tally. Moving on to the next slide, Tally with subscription. Tallynet subscription. Tally keeps enhancing the features in the product. There are also many changes that are needed due to regulatory bodies, from taxes to forms to e-filing and so on. These get added to Tally as needed by different states and countries. For a customer to get the benefit of all these enhancements, as well as some other features like remote access, SMS, synchronization, which we shall describe in a later session, customers need to pay an annual fee that is called Tallynet subscription. The current status of your Tallynet subscription is always found on the Tally status bar. In the product, at the bottom, under license panel, Tallynet subscription valid till. The period will be shown here. If the TNS shows expired, it means that user needs to pay to get the update. Note that Tally will continue to operate fully with the last version update before the expiry of TNS. That is all about TNS. Further to our slides, let us understand the behavior of live updates in Tally. Whenever Tally releases updates, these can be seen on the status bar. Let us check in the product. In status bar, under the version, here you can see Tally messages. There are two kinds of updates: new versions of Tally or new statutory versions. Statutory versions have changes only in the tax-related part, and there is no need to download and install the full Tally for these changes to be included. If you have an active TNS, these can be downloaded with a few clicks. First, ensure that all the users have logged on. In case of Tally Gold license, do the next step on the system that has the Tally license server. Click on the new version or the new chat version. So simply you can click on Tally message. It will take you to the message center screen. Here you will be getting all the list of latest updates, and whichever the update you require, click on enter. It will ask you to install, and once you click on install, you will be asked to enter the email ID and your Tally.net password. Tally will download and install the new version or new statutory file. This computer will need to have an internet connection for the download to work. Once this is done, Tally will restart and the new version or stat file will be installed. In case of a Lan installation, when Tally is now started on other computers, these will get automatically upgraded without the need to do the about step on the computers on a Lan environment. So, we have completed how the live updates work in single user and in a Lan environment system. Moving on to the next slide, help option. By installing Tally, we have advised that it is recommended to install the full version of Tally instead of a light version. The full version contains the complete help manual. At any point in Tally, if you need help on how to proceed, press Alt-H button. Let us check in the product. On top, right hand side, help option. You will be getting two options, that is local help and online help. Local help uses the installed help file. If this option is selected and Tally cannot find the help file, you will be prompted to download and install it now. Alternatively, if you select the online help, a browser window will open and you will be able to get a help from a larger help database. Of course, for this work, the computer will need to be connected to the internet. Local help is nothing but a reference manual which will be available inside the Tally folder. And when you move on to the online help, keywords to be searched in the knowledge base. Say for example, I enter the keyword as daybook. So once I enter the keyword as daybook and click on enter, Tally will directly take me to the screen of knowledge base. Knowledge base. So look for daybook and in product you can select the product as Tally.ERP. So the document related to the keyword, all the documents will appear and you can get the help out of that document. Always spend some time with new clients to explain the availability of these help options. This will save them a lot of time and they will not need to call the Tally customer care for help. Also note that the help is context sensitive. If you press Alt H in the balance sheet, you will first get the help on the balance sheet. See, I am going to balance sheet and I am clicking on help option, online help, and the keyword it takes automatically that balance sheet and need not to be typed. And when I click on that, directly it takes me to this knowledge base screen of balance sheet. All the documents pertaining to that keyword it will be displayed and you will be getting the help out of it. Moving on to the next slide, support from Tally. Tally has an integrated support system. This can be accessed from Control H Support Center button in Tally. Similarly, next, beside the help option, we have Support Center. As I've already told you that internet must be connected to the computer to operate this Support Center and online help option. So on clicking on Support Center Control H button, type your query and the Tally support executive will reply. All these queries and answers can be seen from within the Tally any time you want. As you all can see in the product, in the Tally, here you will be getting the ticket number and the query, date, all the information will be given here. If you need to type a new query, click on Alt N. Mention the email ID under send to field, or if you want to send to a specific partner, you can select the partner name, subject, description and press enter. You will be getting a mail relating to your query and the status on this you will be able to see in the support center screen. Apart from other forms of support, you can also get the offsite support. From the home page of Tally Solutions, there is an option called Support. Click on Support. Under Support, you will be getting offsite support. So these are the offsite support where you can reach a Tally customer care. Support center, as I've already explained all in the Tally product. Email support, when you click on email support, you will be getting the product name and the email ID. For Tally.ERP 9, you will be getting a support at Tally Solutions email ID. For shopper, developer and DAP. So whichever the product the customers are using, you can guide them to go to this offsite support and take the email ID from here and send the mail. Moving on to telecall support, here you will be getting the contact number for the Tally customer care if the customers are from India or UAE, Bahrain or other countries. And moving on to the next support, that is chat support, click here. Here you will be getting two departments. If the customer wants a support related to the product, the customer has to be select the support option. If he wants related to sales support, Then he can select the department as sales. Next is the TallyCare app. When you install the TallyCare app, you will be getting all the outside support to send the message to Tally. So by this, we have learned the online help and support options and how the customers can easily reach a Tally customer care. So conclusion. With this, we have completed the last of 4 sessions that take you through the complete basic of Tally. We hope that you have enjoyed this journey and look forward to meeting you in the upcoming advanced sessions. Thank you.